Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ladue Alumni League Sports Talk, and here's your host, Colton Boehm, and co-host, Bobby Sutherland.
Welcome back to the Thunderdome. I am your host, Colton Boehm, joined by co-host / producer Bobby Sutherland, coming to you hot with the 5th episode of the Ladue Alumni Sports Talk Show.
Count them, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5. Cinco. It is one of our favorite nights of the week, Bob. It's Thursday, which means we have Thursday night
football.
Thank you. And
the Chiefs.
We also are going to kick off our segment with what's on
tap.
There we go.
I didn't know this was going to be a game. Like, I'm not ready for this.
Good.
I keep thinking that the internet's freezing.
No. We're just we're working on our impromptus. Right?
Oh yeah, that's right. I want to be
because we're gonna go to some impromptu comedy shows, right?
Not impromptu. It's called something else. What's it called?
Yeah, I know, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And for most of us, that means there's only one more work day. But anyways, let's talk about beer.
Beer.
Drink some beer.
Today we are sticking local, which seems to be a theme for us. But we have our Schlafly. This is not the regular pumpkin ale. This is actually the pumpkin stout.
Ooh.
Like this is hardcore stuff. But this is this is brewed with pumpkins, butternut squash, and pumpkin spices. So kind of similar to what you get in a typical pumpkin ale. When you drink this, the spices come first, and then it finishes with a more malty finish. As you know, it is a stout and has more malts.
A little October flavor.
Yeah, definitely. It's 6.8% alcohol by volume, so go easy on them, folks. These aren't your typical Bud Lights. This averages 3.94 stars out of 5 on beeradvocate.com. Pairs well with hearty meals like roast and barbecue.
Is that our sponsor, by the way, beeradvocate.com?
I'll let you work on that.
Sales now too? Woo.
Yeah, maybe we can call in Shefty to put in a good word.
There we go.
But this also pairs well with desserts and delicate sweets like cakes, pies, and truffles. So,
that reminds me, one of my favorite episodes of the LAL we've done was the October show.
Oh,
do you remember the Halloween show?
I still watch that, and when I tell people I do a podcast, and they're like, "Oh, can I see?" That's like my go-to.
Really?
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
You're not. What was it? You're not you when you're losing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was so awesome.
Bad Snickers ripoff, but it was fun.
Dude, that was it was a parody, wasn't it? A ripoff.
Remember how much shit we would put, pardon my French, would we put up in that loft upstairs, and like we'd be barely able to move to still get this thing done.
Yeah, dude, I liked it up there.
Yeah, it was fun.
But times. I know you've done some updates to your house, so
yeah, we're not gonna hang out in my bedroom. That'd be weird.
yeah, that's his bedroom now. So good things coming. But speaking of the show today, that was our What's on Tap. We're gonna look at who's hot, who's not. We're gonna get into the stat of the day and have our guest caller Peter Shirk on, and he's gonna give us his Pete's Power Ranking. We love those alliterations in this show.
Yeah.
Of course, Bob. We're going to break down next week's matchups and finish up with some events around town, maybe talk about the Blues. So pretty simple lineup here, Bob. Let's get it popping.
Now, who's hot, who not? Tell me who rock, who sell on
who's hot is definitely Peter Shirk. He is 6-0, team underdog.
The champ.
He's yet to be taken down, and he's averaging 121 points per week. So that's pretty darn good. That's definitely going to get it done. So we'll talk to him later about his thoughts on the NFL and fantasy. So also hot is Schlaf's team, who's actually won 3 straight after he started out 1-2 on the season, but he's 4-2 right now. So in his 3-game win streak, he's beaten myself, you, Bob, and John. So some decent wins there over you and John. Me, not so much. Also hot is Deshaun Watson, the rookie quarterback in Texas. He is averaging 30 points in the past 4 weeks. Very impressive numbers for first-year quarterback, and Jimmy's probably enjoying his presence. And that is probably, if I think about it, if I'm correct, I bet that is a possible keeper status because I don't think Deshaun got drafted. So I think Deshaun it would be a week 10 or 8 fill-in for next year. Pretty good. Also hot is Le'Veon Bell, the Pittsburgh Steelers running back. He's averaging 24 points in the last 4 weeks. I know he had a slow start, but Jared is definitely enjoying his output the past couple of weeks. And Bob, this is your guy right here, Leonard Fournette. He has had double digits every week, which is
killing it.
Real good.
He's had some questionable labels a couple weeks, but he's been playing though.
Yeah, well, he's one of those guys who's always going to have that questionable label because he's been through so many injuries in college. But in the past 3 weeks, he's mounted 80 points. So real good production out of him there.
His back is sore from carrying my team.
Yeah, hey, someone's got to, right?
That's right.
Also at the running back position is San Diego Chargers running back Melvin Gordon, who has 62 points in the last 2 weeks, so averaging 31 points the last 2 weeks.
It's good, but not good enough for Mr. Fredman.
Definitely not good enough. That's maybe the one thing going good with his team at this point. And last but not least is Scam Newton, who's not scamming anyone right now. He has totaled 83 points in the last 3 weeks, and I believe he's on Becker's team. So that rounds up our who's hot. Let's check out who's not. Ooh, man. Got some tough losses in the past week or two. Aaron Rodgers, broken collarbone. He is gonzo, done for the season. Odell Beckham is set to have ankle surgery and will also be out for the season. That completely screws my team over. That's my first-round draft pick. Who's not hot is Ben Roethlisberger, who's only averaging 10 points the last 3 weeks. So I know I think he's thrown more interceptions than he has touchdowns. Bob, you probably are happy you got rid of this guy. Matt Ryan, who had a killer year last year, has yet to put over 20 points this season. So
yep, made a trade for him. I wasn't stoked about it because I know Matt can be really good, but I'll take what I got for him. I had 3 quarterbacks. I had to move him at some point.
Yeah, definitely. Also not hot is Jordy Nelson, who only has 18 points in the last 2 weeks. Hoping for more out of your number one receiver. And for my sake, Jai Ajay has yet to surpass 13 points in any week this season. So he's my number one. He was one of my keepers, which is not really getting it done. So not too happy about that. Going to Oakland, who's playing tonight, the Chiefs. Amari Cooper has just 1 week where he's scored double-digit points. So he is a number one receiver, but I think Crabtree has kind of emerged as the new number one in Oakland. So, that's a huge, huge loss for whoever's got Amari and even the Oakland Raiders themselves. Ezekiel Elliott, still waiting to hear back, but his suspension ruling will be coming up in the next few days on whether he will have to sit out during this season or they will tackle anything in the off season. Waiting to hear on all that legal mumbo jumbo. And most importantly, who's not hot is Daniel Fredman, who's lost 4 in a row. So huge bummer there, especially after being deemed the best drafter post-draft by Yahoo experts. So, Jimmy, womp, womp, womp. If it weren't for Jimmy Fredman, you'd be like in the lows of the lows right now. But Jimmy has lost 5 straight, so I think he's one-upped you, if that's possible, for being not hot. And he is sitting at 1-5 at this point.
The season's not over though, boys. Keep getting those lineups set.
Yeah. Keep giving me some stats to rattle off. Bad stats preferably. But that wraps up our who's not, or our who's hot, who's not.
Well, we're ready to sit in our thinking chair. Let's go.
Well, here, let's move on to our stat of the day. I thought this was very interesting. The Bears defeated the Vikings 2 weeks ago and actually had a fake punt go for a touchdown, and it was a 38-yard pass from the punter himself. and that was actually the Bears' longest completion of the season. Congrats, Bears offense on sucking.
Hey, punters are people too, you know.
Apparently quarterbacks in Chicago too. But moving on to our guest caller, we have excuse me, let me back up. I have a great stat here that will lead us perfectly into our guest caller. It is the Patriots are the first team to give up 300 passing yards for 6 straight weeks. And coming to us live, Mr. Peter, who is leading our league.
El Champo.
El Chapo, only person undefeated. But Pete, welcome. I know you're gonna hook us up with some power rankings here, also noted as Pete's power rankings. So how's it going?
It's going well. But before we get on to the power rankings, I'd love to give you one more stat of the day.
What's that?
Fredman is 1-5.
Love it.
All right, let's move on to the top 5 power rankings.
Yeah, so Pete, glad you're here first off. I know you're big on your sports and you know your stuff, so I kind of wanted you mentioned just breaking down the NFL, basically what we got so far, what you're kind of looking forward to seeing, and maybe talking about some possible Super Bowl matchups or champions, whatever. So, I think it might be best to start off with some of your power rankings. So break it down for us real quick.
We go on 5-1 or 1-5 here?
5-1.
We're going to go 5-1. So, it's only week 7. It's a lot of time left in the season. So this is as of now. Obviously, injuries play a major factor. But my number 5 team, and I know they have one of the worst defenses in football, but the New England Patriots. I mean, any day Tom Brady could beat anyone. Mm-hmm. And especially if the officials keep, giving them or taking away touchdowns from other teams.
Yeah.
So that's my number 5. Number 4, I'd have to go with the Seattle Seahawks. I know they haven't played great offensively, but that defense is dangerous, and I think the NFC is wide open now that Aaron Rodgers has gone down. Mm-hmm. So Seahawks are a solid number 4. Number 3 are my Pittsburgh Steelers. I know they just beat the Chiefs, but they still have some work to do. Ben looks a little bit old, injured. Mm-hmm. I'd like to see more consistency out of Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah.
But they are an impressive 3 who could move up.
Absolutely. Scary tandem they got there.
Scary injury for Aaron Rodgers as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I'm actually a little surprised the guy didn't get fined. I know it wasn't helmet to helmet, but he knew the ball was gone.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of comical. I just went through clavicle break, and I thought it was kind of comical that they said he might return this season. I was like, there is no way he will.
Yeah, no way is right. That looks brutal. He's having surgery. We'll see what Brent Hundley is.
Yeah,
I think we've already seen. But keep going. Number 2.
Yeah, number 2 is I think the leader of the NFC right now, the Philadelphia Eagles. Mm-hmm. That team, special teams is dangerous. Carson Wentz is a stud. They've got 3 or 4 really quality wide receivers and tight ends. I think they're a dangerous team. And drum roll, please, for number 1. Even though they lost to the Steelers, the Kansas City Chiefs. 5-1, impressive running game, great defense, really good at home.
Yeah. Okay. So interesting. You have no 2 teams from the same division here. What else? So, I was going to ask you. So the Patriots, how far do you think their offense can get them? I mean, realistically, because in the past they've had somewhat quality defenses.
They're struggling a little bit with receivers too.
They've had a lot of injuries, but I think in the long run, Brady and Belichick are smart enough to know how to plug in, a Deion Lewis or a Philip Dorsett or, random guys and get results. And maybe they make a trade, maybe they do something, to upgrade their team. Yeah. We saw Arizona Cardinals got Adrian Peterson, and look at what he did in his first week. So the Patriots could get a speed rusher, a corner, and make a run. That's why they're in my top 5. They're scary.
Yeah.
Speaking of your number 1, the Chiefs, you got A. Smith going tonight and Kareem Hunt for your team. So what's your thoughts on the Chiefs going this season?
I mean, they're my number 1 team for now. We'll see. I think the Steelers in the right game. I mean, the Steelers have the Chiefs' number. They've played them the last few years, and I think though the Chiefs have a very productive offense. Doesn't turn the ball over a lot. Run the ball well. Travis Kelce is a matchup nightmare, and their defense is really good. They are the most complete team in the NFL right now. But we'll see if anything could happen in the playoffs. We've seen that.
Yeah, and that's funny you say they're one of the best defenses, and they lost Eric Berry earlier this year. Who's a Pro Bowler, like go-to number one cornerback. So, okay, so let's look at the Eagles. A lot of people could very, very much argue that the Eagles have their record shows how good they are, but a lot of people maybe aren't convinced by them. What convinces you with them?
I mean, really, the NFC, I think, is completely up for grabs right now. I mean, the Rams actually could make the playoffs this year. It's that crazy. The Saints could make the playoffs, the Panthers. I think, though, I would have put Green Bay there last week.
Mm-hmm.
But with Aaron Rodgers going down, I just see Philly. Wentz is an up-and-comer. Their defense is dangerous. They don't have a great running game, but LeGarrette Blount scores goal line touchdowns. And if the weather gets bad in Philly and Atlanta or Dallas or someone has to go play in Philly in the playoffs, I like the Eagles right now.
Has anybody ever seen LeGarrette Blount knock these people out? Have you ever seen those YouTube videos?
No.
In college, he went to Oregon, and someone hassled him, and dude, he one punch, this dude was out. And then like a couple years later when I forgot who drafted him, but he knocked some fan out or someone. But he's a beast. He's definitely picking up the slack for Darren Sproles. He's only putting up like 75 yards a game rushing, but nonetheless, the the Eagles are getting it done. What do you think about the Alshon Jeffrey acquisition, Pete?
I think he's a good wide receiver, probably in fantasy, maybe a number 2, number 3, high end number 3. But he brings an extra dimension that he gets double teamed all the time. So you have Ertz open, you have Aguilar open, you have other weapons on that team. He's going to end with 60, 70 catches, maybe close to 1,000 yards. But I think he's a valuable asset in Carson Wentz's arsenal.
Absolutely. It's almost like there's no real number one there. They're all kind of evened out. I'm not happy about it because I have him on my team, honestly. But I know whoever has Becker's got Ertz, right? I think Ertz
has had a great year.
Yeah, he's had a really good year. Let's look at your number 3 team, the Steelers. In my mind, with Big Ben, Le'Veon Bell, and Antonio Brown, I personally, and the Steelers historically always have a good, semi-good defense. In my mind, a 4-2 record is underachieving for them. What do you think?
I completely agree, and they really haven't looked good this year, besides the game against the Chiefs. I mean, they struggled in Baltimore. Big Ben has more interceptions than he does touchdowns. Martavis Bryant, so-and-so wanted to trade. They're just kind of in a little bit of a mess right now. But I think when you have that kind of talent, and I actually think their defense is underrated. Shazier's great. Hewitt's great. They've got some good young players in the secondary. And TJ Watt's awesome too. So I just see them coming together, and I guess they're my number 3 also because of what they could become. Yeah.
Well, speaking of these top teams, I know you're holding down the number 1 spot. What, give some advice to our Daniel Fredman teams out there who seem to have lost managerial responsibilities and just have not done a good job. Half the battle is drafting, and the other half is managing your team and picking up players and dropping the correct players. So, what would what suggestions would you give to the bottom of the pack who are losing hope?
Well, I mean, I'd first say I should be 5-1. Last week I played Jared and won, I think, by like 6 points. And Austin Severian Jenkins had a touchdown that the NFL just took away for the sake of the Patriots. Yeah. So, but no, I'm having a good year. I think you have to be vigilant each week. And by that, it's you need to figure out what in the next 2 or 3 weeks do you really need?
Yeah.
And you have to go out actively on the waiver wire and spend money to know, okay, by week 7 when I have a bye, I need a fill-in running back, or, week 8, I need a fill-in wide receiver. And sometimes you got to take, risks to potentially pay off in the long run. I mean, everyone has injuries. But I mean, I've also gotten very lucky with matchups. I think I've not been scored too much against.
Yep.
And that's half the battle too, is just the luck of the draw. So all that matters is that 3 weeks, week 14, 15, and 16.
Yeah,
this is true. Speaking of making moves, I know we did some research looking back on the last few years of the league, and Pete by far made the most moves throughout the league. I think it was like 30 moves at least per year, doubling the next guy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you gotta go to the waiver wire. I mean, there's so many injuries and updates that typically, a lot of your team comes off the waiver wire. But speaking of waiver wire, Pete and Bobby, I'm curious what you guys think. I know it's real money in real life. I was thinking about looking into making our waiver wire real money. So I would give everybody, if you bid $8 on Adrian Peterson and you want him for $8, and I was thinking that maybe you would have to pay half that, and then we would collect a pot that we could either split up for a third place winner or like divide it up between the highest points scored per week. What do you guys think about that? Like a real life waiver wire.
I mean, I think if it can go towards overall prize money, there's a way to make it work. Yeah, we'll have to talk to the league accountant, right?
I think you would get a lot less waiver wire action. I think people would be more reserved to spend their money.
I kind of agree. But what if it was like, I don't know, maybe a quarter of what you spend? So if you spend $1 on a person, you only have to donate 25 cents. I mean, that's not too bad, is it?
Playing penny slots here?
Yeah, basically. I don't know. I was just curious what you guys thought, just trying to always make this as realistic as possible. But
yeah, I think encouraging people to use the waiver wire is a good thing, but I don't know if real money's that way. I think we need to set a limit, or we talked about this in week 1, but we need to set like a rule that if you fail, you get last place in the league, you have to do something and like prove it via social media, because then I think that makes people make more moves and gets things going a little bit better.
Yeah, Pete, what would you like to see the dumpster place have to do?
Well, I mean, I'm assuming it's going to be Fredman, so I'll say maybe run a mile in the middle of winter with your shirt off.
I don't know if that's physically possible.
Okay, we could make it like a 40-yard dash.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
In your underwear.
What if we made him go through the scouting combine like a wide receiver would have to in the winter?
I think we should make him stand outside like at an intersection with like a sandwich board that says my team went 1-5.
I'm down with that. As we throw tomatoes at
and
him.
eggs, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. It may not be Fredman. There's
lots of time.
Well, I know I could lose 7 games in a row and finish last.
Yeah. I've done that.
Yeah, that's Bobby last year right there. All right, Pete. Well, we appreciate having you, sir. Thanks for the words of wisdom, and we will see you next time.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. Pleasure being on the show.
Hey, thanks for keeping your head between 2 bushes for us, too. That was pretty awesome.
Busch Stadium, Busch beer.
Yeah. All right, take it easy.
See ya.
See you guys.
All right, shout out to Pat O'Donnell. Longest pass for the Bears. Punters are people, too, my friends. Punters are people, too.
Oh, let's break it.
Oh,
Damn!
All right, moving on to Bob's bold and cold prediction. Bob, a little birdie tells me your predictions are going to be bolder than ever this week, huh?
Bolder than ever this week.
Let's look at.
I'm going to start with my team because I come up first on mine, so I'm going down the order of mine. So we got Turd Burglars versus the Underdogs. Underdogs are undefeated, I believe, right? They lose 1.
Yep, they are 6-0 to your 4-2. I am seeing 114 to 99 points wise, which puts Peter at a 63% chance of winning compared to your 37% chance of winning. Break it down for us real quick, Bob.
This is real simple. It's my team. I'm gonna win.
That's very bold. Very bold, Bob.
I really don't feel confident this week, to be completely honest, but that's what
I
I'm
don't
going with.
blame you, and I am not going with you because Antonio Brown has been ripping it up. Adrian Peterson, oh man, he looked like a complete new person last week. I do like your running backs, though. I think they might match up well against Pete's, but
Hey, you think that I should bring in Abdullah?
No, I don't think you should at all.
Oh, he's on a bye, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. He's on a bye. That would be a terrible idea.
Yeah, you got the rookie running backs. There are 3 rookie running backs going between your all's 2 teams, so the only non-rookie is Adrian Peterson. But I do like Pete's team way better. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. So let's mark it down here. What do we got next, Bob?
All right. Next, we have the Sackmasters, which are 5-1 versus Ted's new squad, Hoodis. Sackmasters Pops has a 104.32 projected to Ted's 89.04. 66% Sackmasters. Colt, who do you got?
Oh man, I am going with Sackmasters this time. I cannot hop on the Teddy bandwagon. There's really not much of a bandwagon there. His team is just not good. I don't know what to tell you. He doesn't. Devin Funchess might be his best player, honestly. I think it is. Randall Cobb hasn't done anything. I got your dad in this one by a pretty good margin. What about you?
Yep, I'm gonna agree with you there. It's hard to go on the 1 and 5ers. It is. All right, moving right along, we've got Todd versus Jeff. That would be Jeffrey's team, which is clever, to one-way to Gronk. Jeffrey's favored at 106 to Todd's 105. At 52% for Jeff. Who do you got?
Well, let me clarify. I think you mentioned you traded it to Jared, but you actually traded Matt Ryan to Todd based on what I'm seeing right here. Does that sound correct?
Yes, you're correct.
Okay. I think this is a really good matchup.
Would this be the game of the week?
It possibly could be, but we can only pick one of those, and we already have that chosen.
I'm sorry. I couldn't get my script printed. My printer failed.
I was nagging Jordy Nelson, but I'm really liking the Michael Crabtree, Juwan Howard, Mark Ingram. They all had Juwan Howard and Ingram had a really good week last week. I think, I think Todd's taking this and Jeff's going down. What about you, Bob?
And this is a close matchup, but Jeff is on the up and up. Who'd you take on there? I'm sorry.
I'm not really going to tell you because you weren't listening.
Sorry, I'm trying to get prepared for the next one as we're working here.
I don't want you're going to base your pick off mine, but I don't really care.
I was going to go with Jeffrey.
Todd.
Oh, okay, good. So there we go. It's fair. All right, I'm going to go with Jeffrey on this one. He's on the up and up.
Yep. Who do we got next?
All right. Next, we have Becker versus Fredman. Becker is 3-3 versus Fredman's 1-5. What's his record again, Colt?
He is 1-5. That's
thank you.
Translated into 1-5.
Thank you. Thank you for that Spanish translation there.
You're welcome.
All right, so believe it or not, this is a 50-50 matchup we've got right now. It is 107.68 to 107.97. So, name change.
Yep.
Becker is now so good it hurts.
That's clever.
That's a play off of his tight end there, I see.
That's clever.
All right, who do you have here? This is our...
Well, Bob, since this is 50-50, does that make it our game of the week?
This is our game of the week.
Man, do you do video productions?
Voiceovers only, please.
Voiceovers only. Wow. Let's take a look at this. Really like what I'm seeing out of Scam Newton and AJ Green. Ty Montgomery is back and healthy. Ertz is just having a great year. Melvin's coming on strong, like I said, but Fredman's not going to be able to get past so good at Ertz. Who do you have?
Man, this is obviously a good matchup, but I'm gonna go crazy here, Colt. It usually
Becker.
comes down to Monday nights, and in this case, it comes down to the kicker on Monday night. It's going to be Mr. So Good at Ertz, Mr. Becker.
All right, Jake Elliott. You're putting it all on Jake Elliott.
It's all on Jake.
All right, Jake, don't disappoint us. I hope Becker's down by like something like ridiculous, like 15, and then the kicker gets like 16 and beats Fredman.
Then I'll get a new shirt that says kickers are people too.
Yeah.
Punters aren't even in the fantasy football league. What the heck?
Yeah. All right, we got 2 more matchups, I believe.
Yes, let's go
Jimmy's and mine.
Yeah, let's go Battle of Dunkirk. We've got Colt is 2. Oh, this is a matchup of 2 and 4s, so both are 2 and 4. You're going against Spectre. You have a slight disadvantage right now. 98 to your 94. It's 54% for Ralph Mick. Colt, you confident this week? Who do you got?
Oh, I'm not that confident at all. I'm a little worried actually because none of my players are projected to do too much. I will say Kirk Cousins has been having a good couple weeks. I'm worried about Tyrell Pryor. He's had one good week. Jai, like I said, he hasn't really done much. Garrett Blunt.
Oh, he doesn't have a defense, I just realized. Did you see that?
Yeah, so he's going to be projected probably some more points. But I'm still taking myself. The only person that scares me on his team is Chris Thompson, who just usually goes off for like 200 all-purpose yards, and Tom Brady. But and he's got Julio Jones, but Julio hasn't done too much this year. So I say that now, and Julio Jones guarantee you goes for 20 points. You taking that bet?
No, I'm good.
But yeah, I'm still taking myself. I'm confident in my team. You know, I had a rough start, but we seem to get things back on track.
Well, he's down a defense right now, and it's a pretty even matchup. Defense win championships. I'm going Ralph Mick.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
All right, our final matchup. Who we got here? We've got John and Jimmy. No, we did that one.
Jared, I want Skittles.
Yes.
And touchdown there.
I want Skittles and touchdown there. That is a 99. I just want Skittles to Jared's 114. Jared is favored 63%. Let's see. What are our records here? We've got
4-2 against 1-5.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll jump in here, Bob, and I'll give it to you real clean. Le'Veon Bell and Todd Gurley are the 2 best running backs on top of Kareem Hunt. Right now, I don't think Jimmy can get over that. What are your thoughts?
Oh, see, I'm confused because on your notes you put John instead of.
Oh yeah, my bad.
It's all good.
Sure.
So let me pull up this matchup now. I was just figuring that out. So we got touchdown there. I just want Skittles. Is that where we're at?
So 63-37. Yep, 63% for Jared.
And Jared's got a lot of Q's on his lineup there. Todd Gurley, Ezekiel.
How bold are you? How bold are you feeling right now, Bob?
Feeling pretty bold. What's the weather like in Pittsburgh?
It usually says it cloudy. You see the cloud? Mostly cloudy.
I'm looking at the matchups. I don't have that. Let's see here.
Yeah, no. It's look under Pittsburgh, and it says, see that cloud next to Cincinnati?
I'm on my phone, not my laptop.
Oh.
Oh man. Let's see here. I'm a big fan of Fitz and Elliott. It's a good combo there. Tennessee defense, not near as strong as that Pittsburgh defense. Pittsburgh defense was strong last week. I think I'm going to rock the Jared train.
All right.
So same for both of us there.
Yep. Let's see. We differ on 1, 2, 3, 4 picks. All right. Good. This would be a nice turnaround week for me.
Good luck.
I mean, I could be within 2 picks of you, or 1 pick if everything works out.
Well, Colt, I have a note for you though. You have not gotten more than 3 picks correct any week of the season so far. So, well, the seasons that we've done bets, I guess.
You should have saved that for a stat of the day. Okay.
Well, we got to leave Fredman in the show somewhere.
Yeah. But let's talk real quick about events around town. You know, it's getting a little bit chilly out. The leaves are falling, and it is spooky Halloween time. So that means haunted houses are open. You got your kid-friendly ones with Boo at the Zoo. There's also a kid-friendly one at Grant's Farm. You can go head to Creepy World, The Darkness, all those fun teenage places, which will cost you about $25 a pop.
I got one more event around town.
Yeah, what else you got?
This is big. It's Pop's birthday tomorrow, Friday, October 20th. So big shout out, happy birthday! I'm telling him on this show what his birthday gift is because I can't print them out yet. We got 4 tickets to the Chiefs game on November 26th. So we're going to KC to Arrowhead for another big game. So happy birthday, Pops!
Against who?
The Buffalo Bills.
All right.
Yeah, should be a good matchup.
Hey, those Bills fans are fucking crazy. So good luck.
My dad knows that very well.
But anyways,
say happy birthday, Colt.
Happy birthday, John. I was gonna text him. That's more personal.
We'll do it before this comes out.
All right. But our next section usually was the St. Louis Cardinals, but that's a sore subject. So it's the St. Louis Blues now, which is not a sore subject. And I know, Bob, you got to witness that 5-2 stomping last night. How was it?
Yeah, it was great. I went with a Blackhawk fan, so that made it really fun. But it was good. The team's looking really good, and I got to stand on the ice during a preseason game shooting camera. And like that, I think his name's Thornberg or something like that. He is a beast, man. He's huge, and he's going to be our Reeves this year. I think it's going to be a really good year.
Our Tony Twist.
Yeah, and then Schwartz got the hat trick last night. Although, did you hear what the other guy, Stewart, I think it was, went head into the wall, so he's probably on concussion protocol. But I think it's going to be a great year. Let's go Blues. Yeah,
and with that 5-2 win, that matches our record at 5-2, and we are first in our Western Conference with 10 points. So, good news right there with the Blues, looking to see some big things. That wraps us up. Bob, you got anything good for the cause?
Nope, I'm good. I think we'll see you next week. Deuces on my end.
All right, friends or peeps, whatever managers, if we don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.